afternoon, Town Clerk's Office. This is Lynn.
Hey, Lynn, do you accept cash payments yourself there?
Yes, we do.
Okay, are you one of the clerks that accept cash payments?
I am the tax collector.
Okay. So then you have firsthand experience with accepting cash payments?
We accept cash for tax payments.
Do you take cash for tax payments?
Personally?
Yes.
If I'm at the window, yes. I'm not normally at the window, but if I was to help a customer and they gave me cash for a tax payment, I would accept it.
Okay, fantastic. So you've actually been in that situation before. You've received cash for a customer. I'm unsure as to what the county means by cash.
A Federal Reserve note?
Okay, and so you accept notes for payment?
I don't understand your question. Like, I accept money, like cash, American currency. I don't know how else to define it.
Well, you said Federal Reserve note, right?
That's cash.
Okay, yeah, so then you accept notes for payment?
I would accept currency. If you write me a handwritten note, I'm not sure what your definition of note is. If you write me an IOU, I'm not accepting that as cash.
Okay, well,
what's your definition of cash?
What do you mean by Federal Reserve note?
Well, the Federal Reserve issues cash, like a $1 bill, a $5 bill, a $10 bill. What's your definition?
How's that relevant?
What are you looking for? This is a strange conversation, one I've never had before. So I'm wondering what your goal is here.
Well, what's strange to me is if you accept cash, and you said it's a Federal Reserve note that you accept, what's strange to me, very strange, is you're not answering the question if you accept notes or not.
What kind of note? Like a note from your mom? A note from you? What's a note? What's your definition of note that you're asking me to receive?
Okay. Do you accept Federal Reserve notes?
My definition of a Federal Reserve note is currency. So I would accept that.
Just to clarify here, when you say that you will accept a Federal Reserve note, do you accept notes that are issued by the Federal Reserve? How about that?
I'm looking at a $20 bill right now. And on it, it says 20 Federal Reserve Note, the United States of America.
Yes. And who is that issued by?
Let me grab my glasses. The United States of America. This note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. The Treasurer of the United States.
Okay. So then it sounds like on the very top you indicated Federal Reserve note, so that's issued by the Federal Reserve Bank. Could it be?
This note is legal tender for all debts, public and private, Treasurer of the United States.
Yeah. The issuer on those kind of instruments, I've been told, is at the very top.
It says Federal Reserve note. It doesn't say who issued it. It's a Federal Reserve note of the United States of America.
You just indicated the issuer, which is the Federal Reserve. It is a note issued by the Federal Reserve, hence it's called at the very top, at the title, Federal Reserve Note. Would you agree?
I agree that it says Federal Reserve Note on the top, yes.
Okay. And so you accept those notes from the Federal Reserve?
Issued by, or that are signed by the Treasurer of the United States, yes.
Yeah, and issued by the Federal Reserve, is that correct? If the words are at the very top of that instrument, that's the issuer of it. Would you agree?
I'm not assuming that. Nope. If it said issued by the Federal Reserve, then maybe, but it doesn't say that. It says Federal Reserve Note.
Okay. This is good. So is there any other party that could have issued it?
I don't know. I'm still trying to understand this conversation. Is there a point? Are you trying to catch me in a lie? Like, I don't understand.
Well, are you running from a lie?
Absolutely not. I run my office 100% transparent, but I am busy, and I'm wondering what this conversation is about.
Well, other than you, who's bringing up lie? I mean, do you have a guilty conscience about something you want to tell me about?
No. Would you like to come in and have a conversation face-to-face? I don't understand what this conversation's about.
It's about getting further clarity insofar as what you mean by cash.
What do you mean by cash?
What does it matter what I think it means?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm just curious. I'm just having a conversation with you.
Okay, well, let's go with that for a second. I define cash.
Okay.
I define cash as coffee beans. Now what?
That is not the cash that I accept, no.
Well, okay, see, so it's not relevant what I think cash is. What's relevant is the one who's going to accept the cash. So that's why I need to understand what you accept in terms of cash. I need to understand that. And so you have indicated that that is a Federal Reserve note. And I have then asked you, do you accept notes? And for some reason, you're hesitant to answer that.
I accept Federal Reserve notes issued by the United States Treasury. How's that?
Well, that's going to be a problem because the U.S. Treasury, to my knowledge, has never issued a Federal Reserve note.
All right, how about I accept Federal Reserve notes signed by the Treasurer of the United States. Would you like to talk to the town treasurer? I accept money. I accept taxes on behalf of the town for the town treasurer.
Okay, do you accept any other kind of notes? Or do you require very specifically Federal Reserve notes?
I specifically require United States currency. Like if you came in with a Canadian dollar, I wouldn't accept that.
And so when you say U.S. currency, are you making reference to the Federal Reserve note?
Yes.
Okay, so will you accept anything other than a Federal Reserve note in terms of cash?
No.
Okay, when it comes to cash, do you require anything other than a Federal Reserve note?
When accepting cash, do I require anything
other than a Federal Reserve note?
I wouldn't accept anything other than a Federal Reserve note.
When it comes to cash, okay, a cash transaction, do you require anything other than a Federal Reserve note? Or is the Federal Reserve note the only currency that you require?
Currency or cash?
Well, you define currency as cash, which is a Federal Reserve note, and that's according to you.
Yes, I think that's true then. I believe that to be true.
Okay, so do I understand correctly that the only requirement you have on the cash side of a transaction is a Federal Reserve note? You will not accept anything else, correct?
As far as cash, no, I don't believe I would. I'd have to see it, and we could have a conversation about it, but I don't think there's any other cash that I could accept.
Okay. Well, that's the purpose.
I don't know of any other cash that I could accept other than the Federal Reserve note signed by the United States Treasurer.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, just the sum then. So we're talking about you accept and require Federal Reserve notes insofar as a cash transaction. Now, do you accept promissory notes?
What is a promissory note?
I'm told that the Federal Reserve note is a promissory note.
If you handed me cash and called it a promissory note, sure, I'd take it. But I don't know what a promissory note. I don't know how a promissory note and a dollar bill differs. In your question.
Well, now, if it's a Federal Reserve note, at the very top it says Federal Reserve note, and that means Federal Reserve, a promissory note. That's what a note is.
Did you handwrite it on there, or is it printed on there and signed by the United States Treasurer?
Well, the note is a promise to pay. In fact, it's an unconditional promise to pay. It's a negotiable instrument. So what I'm asking you is, do you accept negotiable instruments, also known as promises to pay, in a cash transaction?
I would not accept it unless it was cash. My definition of cash.
Which is a Federal Reserve note, correct?
Which is the standard $1, $5, $10, yes, bill that says Federal Reserve on the top and is signed by the United States Treasurer.
Yes, which is also known as a promissory note, correct?
So you say. I have not looked up the definition. Yep, whatever you say, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it says...
So why would you ask me if I took a promissory note if we agree that that's a dollar bill?
Well, I haven't agreed to what a dollar bill is. I believe there's different definitions of dollar bill. We're talking about the Federal Reserve note. We're talking about a note, a negotiable instrument. Are you aware that a negotiable instrument is a note or a promise to pay?
No, I don't understand the question.
Okay, so a Federal Reserve note is a promissory note. Are you aware of that?
I'm trying to understand. What do you mean? Do I? It's a promise of who to pay? You? The Federal Reserve?
It's issued by the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve note is a promissory note issued by the entity we're calling Federal Reserve. It's a promise to pay. Are you aware of that?
Promise from who?
Good question. It's an instrument. It's called note. It's the only one that you accept for a cash transaction. How is it that you don't know that?
Why would I need to define it if I accept it? If you came in with a dollar bill, why do I need a whole definition about it when I know it's a dollar bill?
We're not talking about dollar bills. I mean, you're talking about it, but I haven't gone there. I'm just on the Federal Reserve note. If you look at the Federal Reserve note, I don't believe you're going to see bill anywhere on the face of it on either side. I mean, it kind of sounds like if I have a bill, you'll accept that.
If you have a dollar bill, I would accept that. But again, every situation is different. I'd have to see what you're talking about in person.
Well, now,
and then we could say, yes, this is a dollar bill, or no, this is not.
Well, okay, but if you are referring to a dollar bill as a Federal Reserve note, then we're on the same page. That's fine.
I don't want to be on the same page as you. I'm not sure what page you're on. I don't understand the point of this conversation.
I'm not certain what page you're on, which is why I'm asking questions. Are you aware that what you're accepting is a promise to pay? Payment.
Can you hang on just a second? The UPS man needs a signature. Hang on.
Okay.
Are you still there, sir?
I'm still here.
Okay, I just spoke to the police department, and they've asked me to refer you to them.
Why?
I don't have time for this conversation, and I didn't want to just hang up on you, so I asked them what I should do, and they said you should talk to the York Police Department. So I'm going to transfer you over there, okay?
Why talk to the police department? Did they collect taxes for the county?
York Police, how may I help you?
Yeah, I was just talking to the county tax collector, and for some reason she transferred me over to you. Do you know why?
I guess it depends on what kind of services you're requesting.
I haven't requested any services. Did the county tax collector request services?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, do you have any knowledge as to why the county tax collector transferred me to you?
No, my phone rang and I picked it up and you were there.
Okay. Is this normal standard operating procedure in past experiences with a tax collector to be forwarded to the police department?
Not unless there's a police matter that needs to be addressed.
Okay, and is there a police matter that has needing some addressing here?
I have no idea what your complaint or business with the tax collector was.
What county is this the police department in?
We are in the county of York, but we're a municipality that covers the town of York only, which includes the neighborhoods of Cape Nettic and York Harbor, that sort of general area.
Okay. Well, just to let you know what's happened here, I was talking to the York County tax collector. I was asking her about the definitions of cash, and she seems to have a problem with those questions, and she then transferred me over to you at the police department. Have you ever had this happen before?
Not that I can recall.
I won't keep you very much longer. This is just so curious to me. When a tax collector has questions on the definition of certain terms that they use in the office there, does that move to the level of a police action?
I'd have to talk to the clerk and see what her intentions were. I really don't know. Did you state that you were looking to talk to a county entity, or were you trying to talk to the municipal entity of the town or clerk of the town of York?
Well, I had originally called for the clerk, and I think she identified herself as the tax collector.
Yeah, she works in the clerk's office.
I've just never come across a scenario in which I'm asking a tax collector for a definition of cash and what she means by that, to get a full understanding of what they mean by that, and so that a property tax can be paid by that means, and then get switched over to the police office. Do you think that's strange?
I would have to understand, hearing your side of the story, I would have to understand the clerk's side of the story, and it just sounds like maybe your conversation had come to a conclusion and they didn't wish further contact, and now they've transferred you to us.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to be placed on hold, or do you want me to disconnect? I have to answer another line.
No, I'm fine. I don't want to take up your time anymore. I know you got important work to do. But yeah, thanks.
All right, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Well, all right. Bye now.
All right, bye-bye.